I'm not sure who it is.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Thank you.
The regular meeting of the Clear Lake City Council of Monday, October 4th, 2021 shall come to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Tonight we have telephonically Councilman Mike Callanan and Councilman Dana Brandt. Need a motion to approve the agenda, please?
So move.
Second.
Moved by Gary, seconded by Mark, that we approve the agenda. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carries. To the consent agenda, you have a copy of the minutes of September 20th, 2021. We need approval of the bills and claims, of which you'll also have a copy. We have the following license and permits. Liquor license, Class C, beer permit, Class B, wine permit with Sunday sales. It's Quick Star, number 223. Class E, liquor license, Class C, beer permit, Class B, wine permit with Sunday sales. That's the Quick Shop. Class C, beer permit with Sunday sales. Pilot Travel Center, number 407. All of those are renewals. Excuse me. We have excavator license, Humberg General Construction, that's new, and Paulson Construction, that's renewal. Motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Marks, seconded by Bennett, that we approve the consent agenda. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Now is the time and place for anyone in the audience who wishes to address the council on any issue or concern that they have that is not on the agenda. Please approach the podium, state your name first and last, and give your address so the clerk can properly enter it in the minutes. This is not a discussion time nor a question and answer time, but you have 3 to 5 minutes to speak to the council. Welcome, Steve.
My name's Steve Nicholas. I'm here with my wife, Sue. We live at 475 North Shore Drive, which is the lower unit above the garage door in Redstone. It's the furthest northeast unit on the lower of the residential units. I sent an email this afternoon. I assume you all received that, but I'll read it anyhow. I understand that Clear Lake is a residential vacation resort community where space is tight, which necessitates all of us to be extra considerate of our neighbors and those close by. I support Clear Lake businesses. I do not support inconsiderate, disrespectful, discourteous, and self-centered behavior. I live directly across the street, approximately 90 feet laterally and 12 to 15 feet above, where the band plays, just inside the open doors of the lounge on the first residential floor on the northeast corner of Redstone, with an exterior wall as my shield. I do not live, for example, on the west side of the building at a much greater distance away, where the loud music cannot permeate and penetrate multiple walls, or on an upper floor, creating a further distance from the noise intrusion into one's home. I talked directly to Jimmy at Fiddler's on the morning of 9/18, asking for some neighborly consideration in the volume of music from his business several nights a week, especially so later in the evening. His responses and basically rants were, no consideration at all would be extended. He made a very valid, solid point that there is no noise ordinance and if I wanted one, I could go to the state to get that changed. He said, I can't control the volume. I questioned that because a band member not 5 feet away was adjusting an amplifier at the time of our discussion. He said we never play any later than 11. That's not true. He also stated that he was not in control of his business and pointed out that there were multiple layers of LLCs and other owners. Said that he needed help, not criticism, because he was struggling, and that the open garage doors are to advertise the music and bring people in, which indicates he wants the music blaring outside. I listened to the same increasingly irate verbiage twice, and when it started the third time, I simply thanked him for his time and left. I'm frankly not sure what to ask of the council. I'm not sure what to ask of the city. What I do know is that I would not want an ordinance passed that would hamper other events that are considered of their neighbors. These are events that Clear Lake needs to continue its viability as a residential vacation and resort community. Some neighborly consideration of reducing volume and stopping music at 10 a.m. would be an obvious answer if there were a cooperative person extending some understanding available from fiddlers. Now, I liken this to wine. I like wine. I like fiddlers' music. But just like wine, I don't like it being forced on me starting mid-evening into the wee hours. Thank you. I'd like to introduce Terry from the Hilltop Hotel, who will then introduce Bill Yan, who are speaking to the same subject.
Thank you, Steve. Welcome.
Hi. I'm Terry Latimer. Address is 10 Allen's Alley here in Clear Lake. We have owned the Hilltop now for 15 years. We love the area. We love what we do. We work, my husband and I, he's a retired Marine, served 23 years. I'm a retired banker. We put a lot of work, we put a lot of hours into our business. There has not been a summer that we have not averaged at least 18 hours a day. From Memorial to Labor, we work closer to 20 hours a day between my husband and I each. We approached fiddlers about a year ago for the first time, and basically he told me what I could do with my comments and had no desire to work with me. We asked that the volume be brought down. I mean, I was dealing with it from 12:30, sometimes 1:45. In an average weekend, I was averaging probably between $300 and $500 in refunds a weekend. 95% of my business in the summer is booked 2 years out. It's family reunions. And a lot of them were leaving at 1 o'clock in the morning or 12:30 or whatever time it was, because their little kids were crying and they were not sleeping. And they'd check into the Best Western or wherever they could get a room and then join the rest of their family during the day. That loss has amounted to probably $3,000 to $5,000 for me. And this gentleman at Fiddlers, his always comment is, I'm struggling, you need to support my business. And I am very guilty of it right now. I will not refer anybody over there for that reason, because it's impacted me quite negatively. My husband and I do not take a paycheck, nor have we ever taken a paycheck out of our business. We live on our military retirement funds. But when I'm cutting refunds, sometimes 500 one night, maybe 1,000 the next weekend, it's a hit. And I'm not asking for the noise to be shut down. I have never had an issue with the Surf Ballroom. I have never had an issue with any other music forum. I can tell you I have had a ton of performers that have stayed with us. And my favorite have been a few of them that have sat on the patio and played music with our guests. And we've had some great times getting to know some of those performers. But at no time have I ever encountered a complaint from any of our neighbors, because I guarantee we would have addressed it that night. I guess what I'm asking is a courtesy. I don't think the negative impact is fair to my business for him to get business. It probably would be better if I just cut him a check $500 a night just for him not to play. And that doesn't seem fair either. That's all I have to say. Mr. Yan, I think
Thank
would
you.
like to speak also.
Welcome, Bill.
Good evening, Council. Bill Yan, 463B North Shore Drive. Approximately a month ago, I noticed some construction activity around Fiddler's Lounge. So I just happened to ask one of the contractors there what was going on, and he says, well, we're putting in overhead doors. And to my dismay, I immediately went to the building inspector's office, Mike Ritter, and asked him, you know, just exactly what was happening. Well, come to find out, they're glass overhead doors, and they're openable, of course. And, you know, why Mike didn't talk to the neighbors or ask Fiddlers to talk to the neighbors at that point, I have no idea. In fact, I asked him, I said, Mike, did you talk to anybody? And he said, well, he talked to the police. And obviously, none of you knew about this before it was going to happen. My condo is directly across the street from the doors that open whenever the music starts. I also represent Dr. Rick Larson, Bobby Nelson, and the Kingeries next door to me. And as some of the other folks have said, we're not so much concerned about the music itself as him sharing it with the entire neighborhood. I sent a video taken outside my, or taken from my bedroom window to both Councilman Gary and Mayor Crabb. And I think, you know, if the rest of you'd like to see it, I have it. But I think you'd agree that it's obtrusive when my bedroom abuts the street. We're looking for some relief from the council with the noise, and if nothing else, we'd like the time limited, and maybe he could shut the doors at 9 o'clock or something like that. I mean, we're accustomed to hearing the music. We're across the street, and of course with the surf there, we kind of know what we got into there, and it's never an issue. But we'd like as a group some consideration on the noise level. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wish to speak to the council tonight? Welcome, Kathy.
I'm Kathy Vicks. I live at 103 33rd Street, across the street from Nelson. I want to talk about the handicap parking downtown. A few weeks ago, my husband had an appointment at the bank. Gene's sense of balance is not good at all. He uses a walker. If you're driving somebody who uses a walker and try to find a handicapped spot on that corner, they're just parallel parking. And you can't have somebody who doesn't have a good sense of balance get out of the car, step below the curb, try to step up on top of the curb, get to his walker, and have that work. So I turned the corner and I tried to park in a diagonal spot between two other vehicles, which when you're trying to get a walker out of a car, have somebody turn it around so they can approach the curb. Gene had to back up to get to the curb. Then there was enough room up there for him to turn the walker around and get up. When we came out of the bank, it's a whole different story because, and there's nothing that you can do now, but the incline on the curbs is very hard. That little, between the concrete strip and the edge of the curb, the sidewalk has a little bit of an incline there. And I had to be very careful that the walker didn't roll and he could get down. It would be wonderful if there were handicapped diagonal parking spots downtown. There's one out of the two corners, the VFW corner and the bank corner, there's one diagonal parking spot, and that's across the street from the VFW. But any other handicap spots that I'm aware of, but I haven't driven down Main Street lately, are all parallel parking. I'm thinking if somebody takes someone downtown that uses crutches, they would have the same problem with the parallel parking. It would be nice if you could take three diagonal parking spots and turn it into two, so that you would have enough room to get the walker out, to get it turned around. It could be a wheelchair, whatever, but, and in the big picture, it amazes me that after all the years that Opportunity Village has been here, that we haven't done something better with handicap parking. So, thank you very much. And by the way, if any of you would like to come out to the house and pick Gene up and bring him downtown and take a chance as to see how easy or how difficult it is to get him. I mean, and he's very willing to help. It's not that he's a problem, it's just the situation is a problem. But thank you very much.
Thank you, Kathy. Anyone else this evening? Anyway, we thank you all who spoke tonight, and you can be sure we'll take each of your comments seriously and under serious advisement from here. Thank you. No unfinished business to go to, but new business 6A, 2809 Main Avenue Warehouse Development Project. Review, Creighton Schmidt, Director of Finance. Welcome, Creighton.
And council. At its regular meeting on September 20th, the council approved a letter of intent and set the date for a public hearing for tonight, October 4th at 6 p.m. on the proposal to grant an industrial property tax exemption to RCP Investments, LLC. RCP Investments is currently engaged in the repurposing of the former five-star cooperative property to a dry goods warehouse and distribution center. The LOI outlined incentives which included an industrial property tax exemption, participation in storm sewer improvements, and professional services fees reimbursements. The project will be comprised of the renovation and repurposing of the former five-star cooperative building located at 2809 Main Avenue. The building is approximately 154,000 square feet. January 2019 had an assessed value of $660,000, and it's estimated at the completion of this project that the assessed improved value would be about $1.5 million. Following the completion of the improvements, the warehouse will be occupied under the terms of a 10-year lease agreement with Greenlee Corrugated Solutions. It's anticipated that the company will employ 6 to 10 employees with the potential to expand to multiple shifts in the future. The company provides corrugated packaging for large-scale companies. Notice of the hearing of the proposed industrial property tax exemption request was published on September 22nd in the Clear Lake Mirror Reporter. The city cannot act on this matter until 30 days have elapsed following tonight's hearing. The schedule of the exemption is a declining schedule over 5 years, so it starts at 75% and decreases by 15 percentage points each year. The council will consider all 3 readings of the ordinance to approve the property tax exemption at its November 15th meeting. And that is all for that.
Council, have any questions for Creighton with regard to the 2809 Main Avenue Warehouse Development Project? Well, essentially what we're asking tonight, correct me if I'm wrong, Creighton, what we're asking tonight, this is the open public hearing with regard to the proposal that we had in the letter of intent.
Correct, for the property tax exemption.
And that hearing will be on November 15th. And at that time, there'll be 3 readings of the ordinance to approve the property tax exemption.
Correct.
Thank you. So now is the time and place for the public hearing with regard to the 2809 Main Avenue Warehouse Development Project. If there's anyone in the audience that wishes to speak to that particular project, please approach the podium, state your name and first and last, and give your address so clerk can get it into the minutes. Welcome. Stacy.
The Clear Lake Chamber. I just want to thank the council for approving the letter of intent for another great economic development project here in our community. I'm excited to see this property brought back to life and in here tonight to offer my support of the project. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Welcome.
Thank you. My name is Matt Splickgerber. I live at 1533 Plymouth Road in Mason City. And along with Stephen Toma, who is also in attendance, we make up majority ownership of RCP Investment. And so we are just here to thank the city for their support on our project. Especially we'd like to thank Mr. Scott Flory and Eric Schmidt with the city, Stacy Dawn with the Chamber of Commerce, Jason Petersburg with V&K, and of course, all of you up here today. We are a local company who is interested in investing in our community. We are very bullish on the prospect of Northern Iowa and Clear Lake in particular. And, and every interaction we've had with any city official, every conversation, every email we've had has made us even more confident in the city's desire for economic growth. And we appreciate that. And again, we're just here to thank the city, and we hope that RCP Investment can continue to do our little bit to help Clear Lake grow. Thank you.
Thank you. Entertain a motion, council, to close the public hearing with regard to 2809 Main Avenue Warehouse Development Project. Motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Bennett, seconded by Gary, that we close the public hearing on the warehouse development project. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Opposed, same. Motion carries. We thank you both for being here, and we too feel that this is a very good project for a building that has been sitting there for quite some time and is certainly being repurposed for a good use for the community and our area. Appreciate that very much. Go to 6B, lease agreement proposal for physical therapy clinic for approximately 800 square feet of office at 115 North 20th Street, AKA the Clear Lake Athletics and Wellness Center. Review, Mr. Schmidt. Welcome again, Creighton.
The city has proposed to lease approximately 800 square feet on the first floor of our new wellness center to a physical therapist clinic. A response to a solicitation for bids was received from Mullenkamp Physical Therapy. The proposal for Mullenkamp Physical Therapy is for $1,750 a month for rent. The city must hold a public hearing on the proposal since the term of the lease is for a period of 3 years. Notice of this public hearing will be published in the newspaper on October 6th, and the hearing on the proposal will be held on October 18th. Mullenkamp Physical Therapy intends on continuing to use its primary location at 800 North 8th Street, with the location at the Wellness Center being a satellite facility. So they are looking to expand, looking to recruit as they move towards this new location within the Wellness Center.
Council, any questions for Creighton? Thank you, Creighton. Therefore, I entertain a motion to approve Resolution 2147. This is a resolution setting the date for a public hearing, which shall be October 18th at 6 p.m. right here in the council chambers on a proposed lease agreement with Mullenkamp Physical Therapy located here in Clear Lake presently. Motion, please.
So moved.
Moved by Gary, seconded by Bennett, that we approve Resolution 2147. Is there any discussion?
Yes, Mayor, just briefly, I'd like to thank Tim Molenkamp for being here and for the opportunity that this presents to us to partner with a growing local business to improve the physical therapy clinic and to grow that business. So thank you so much for partnering with us, and we'll look forward to seeing that develop.
Any other discussion? Roll call. Mark?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Gary?
Yes.
Bennett?
Yes.
And Dana?
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Resolution 2147 is duly adopted. Thank you, Tim. 6C, purchase of 2022 one-ton extended cab truck and utility body review. Jeremy Kornberg, Public Works Director. Welcome, Jeremy.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. As part of our fiscal year 22 budget, we included a new one-ton pickup truck with utility body to replace the existing 2003 Ford F-350 utility truck. We budgeted roughly $49,000 for this item. The existing 2003 Ford will be sold through the GovDeals auction site following the delivery of the new truck. Invitations to bid were solicited through the State of Iowa Purchasing Program using their specifications. All minimum requirements were met. We received bids from 3 different vendors. They included Pritchard Commercial here in Clear Lake, Iowa, Carl Chevrolet out of Ankeny, and Stivers Ford out of Waukee. And then we received 2 bids for the utility body and lift gate, one from Stellar Truck and Trailer out of Mason City, and the other Christ Steel Truck and Equipment out of Lake Crystal, Minnesota. Excuse me. The recommendation from us is to accept the bid from Carl Chevrolet out of Ankeny for a 2022 Silverado, 1-ton, 4-wheel drive, double cab. Their bid was $29,782. The other 2 bids were both $34,133 and $34,926. And then our recommendation is to accept the bid from Stellar Truck and Trailer out of Mason City for the utility box and lift gate. Their total bid was $18,015. The Christ Steel Truck and Equipment bid for the same service body and lift gate was $21,454. The total cost of the 2 items together came to $47,797, so just under budget. Estimated time of delivery is January of 22. The utility body should be delivered sometime after that, and then we have to obviously send it over to Stellar and get everything equipped. With that, I think that covers about everything unless you have any questions on it.
Questions, council? So our original was a 2003 F-350, which is 18 years old.
Yep, she's been used pretty good.
Mm-hmm. That had a Tommy lift on it as well?
That one does not.
Does not, okay.
But when we were speccing this out, a lot of times when we're using that utility truck, it's when we're heading to do concrete work, stuff like that. Liftgate really helps us with our plate packer, some of the manual tools that we gotta lift up into the back of that truck, so it does come in handy.
The combined total, as you said, was $47,797. And that's the truck from Carl Chevrolet in Ankeny and the Tommy lift from Stellar in Mason City.
Yep, utility box and liftgate
Right.
from Mason City.
Any other comments, questions, council? I'm appearing to entertain a motion to approve the recommendation of the Public Works Director and authorize this purchase of the 2022 one-ton extended cab truck and utility body.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Gary, seconded by Mark, that we approve the purchase of the extended cab truck and utility body. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carries. Thank you. 6D, Whitaker Court Sanitary Sewer Extension Project Review, Jason Petersburg, PE, Beanster and Kim. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. Before I start, I'd just like to mention there are 3 property owners from Whitaker's Court here that do have interest in this project, so they did come to see how this meeting went and offer any input if need be. In your council packet, you will find a solicitation or a resolution setting dates for receiving the competitive quotes, the solicitation for quotation, the project schedule, the petition and waiver. We've mentioned before, but this process is being specially assessed to the benefited property owners voluntarily. They've requested this project. So we have put together a petition and waiver at this time until we receive bids and have a final number to put in there for all the properties. There is a detailed project cost estimate broken down by property owner portion and the city cost items. And then there's an excerpt from the plans. So back in August, the City Council authorized us to proceed with the design of the Whitaker's Court Sanitary Sewer Extension Project. It involves the replacement of an existing 8-inch private sanitary sewer lane or sewer main. It's located on private property. It's in marginal to poor condition, and it serves 11 residential properties. There was a demolition of an existing cabin along 4th Avenue North that the existing 8-inch sewer line runs underneath. And after that was demolished, it has prompted the affected property owners to organize, and they have requested that this line be replaced. So it'll include this public sewer main, new sewer services, and 2 manholes. One of the manholes is a replacement of an existing brick manhole in the street. Jeremy and I had looked at it, and he had asked that we include the replacement of that manhole as well. So that is one of the city cost items in there. The city has agreed to work with the property owners. Like I say, they've all met. They've agreed that they're willing and they want to be voluntarily assessed for these improvements. Under this agreement, the city's responsible for purchasing the mainline sewer pipe, materials and the 1 manhole, as well as the engineering fees. And I believe the city actually purchased a pipe last week. There's pipe shortage, so we got ahead of that and took delivery on the pipe, so it's here when needed. The total cost of the construction is $72,402. That's our estimate, with the property owners paying about 72% of that and the city's share being 28%. The project is under the statutory threshold for public bidding, so we're following the competitive quote process. We're looking at October 14th, 11 a.m. to receive competitive quotes. And then the city council will act on the award at their October 18th meeting. If all goes well, we're looking at construction starting by the end of the month and being wrapped up by early December. Any questions?
So any questions for Jason? So we got a bid letting of October 14, awarded contract October 18, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And start hopefully the end of October and complete first part of December.
Start as soon as we can get the manholes.
Mm-hmm. And that will be issue getting those, or?
No,
All right.
no, not an issue getting them, but there is still a 3-4 week lead time on them, so
Yeah.
we need to get them ordered.
Yeah. Any other questions, Council, for Jason? All right, therefore, I entertain thanks, Jason. Entertain a motion to approve Resolution 2148. This is a resolution setting dates for receiving competitive quotes, and as I stated earlier, that's October 14th is the bid letting, and the awarded contract is October 18th. Motion, please.
So moved.
So offered.
Moved by Mike, seconded by Bennett, that we approve Resolution 2148. Is there any discussion? Roll call. Mike?
Yes.
Gary?
Yes.
Bennett?
Yes.
Dana?
Yes.
And Mark?
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Resolution 2148 is duly adopted. Thank you for being here, folks. Appreciate that. 6E, purchase a 2021 multi-directional V-plow and grapple bucket. To review, Mr. Gornberg.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. As part of the 22 budget, we had a couple new items for our front-end loaders. We needed to replace a worn-out grapple bucket, and then as well as we budgeted for a new multi-directional V-plow. We upgraded to a 16-foot V-plow rather than a 14-foot, just to kind of improve our efficiencies uptown, cleaning during snow events. We budgeted, budgeted $38,000 for these two items. We sent bids out to 3 different vendors. I think it was, let me find my sheet here. We took bids from Titan Machinery out of Des Moines, Murphy Tractor and Equipment, and Ziegler Cat out of Mason City, Iowa. The V-plow, the bids came in from Titan Machinery at $33,000, Murphy Tractor was $27,000, and Ziegler was $24,743.70. We recommend going with the bid from Ziegler for the Ryland 16-foot V-plow. For the grapple bucket, we also received bids from these 3 vendors. Titan Machinery's bid was $23,900. Murphy Tractor was $21,850, and Ziegler Cat was $13,365.30. And obviously, we will recommend to accept the bid from Ziegler Cat for the new grapple bucket. The 2 bids combined total came to $38,109, just over, but there has been obviously some increase in costs. Delivery time for both items is right at 12 to 14 weeks. So we would get those orders as soon as possible to get them here to get used this winter. Any questions?
So I know we discussed this clear back in December of 20, when we approved the budget, but the V-plow then can be used on the grader as well as?
No, this is just a straight front-end loader for our front-end loaders that we use uptown, parking lots, et cetera.
Okay.
We currently have 2 V-plows. One of them's they're both wearing down, and one of them needs to be replaced. We'll hold on to it just as a backup, but with replacing that, we decided to upgrade to the 16-foot.
Oh, I see. Okay. And we budgeted, what, 38, didn't we? So
38,000
we're
for
pretty much
combined.
right on. Yeah, that's good. Any other questions, council? Entertain a motion then to approve purchase of 2021 multi-directional V-plow and grapple bucket.
So move.
Moved by Mark, seconded by Gary, that we approve the purchase of the Public Works equipment. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carries. Thank you. 6F, front desk member service positions, part-time. Review, Mr. Long. Welcome, Adam, Executive Director of the Wellness Center.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. This is a pretty self-explanatory position here. This position is going to be doing a lot of different things at the Wellness Center. Obviously an important position, as this will be the first person our members see as they come into our building. This position will be greeting new members, signing them up for memberships, taking tours, taking any questions and concerns, walking the floor to see where they can be of assistance. Again, the biggest thing that I probably need from this position, somebody that's going to be very reliable, as they're going to have early mornings and later evenings at times. Very responsible, take ownership in our facility, but more importantly, be a smiling face when you walk into the facility. So that's very, very important. I'm not sure if you guys are aware of this. We have an exercise class that we have that goes on in the mornings here. We have probably about 20 participants in our class. Most of them are retired ladies from the community. that's the type of position that I'm looking for. So this will be, if we get this approved, I will I'll bring it to their attention on Monday or on Wednesday morning to see if we can get somebody that's looking for a little bit of extra income that wants to kind of take ownership and take some ownership in the Clear Lake Athletics and Wellness Center.
This is part-time?
Part-time, absolutely.
No fringe or?
Absolutely. No,
Okay.
part-time position. And again, staffing, we're obviously going to try to get it to the point where we only have one front desk worker, which we'll get to at the beginning, with it being a little bit more chaotic and busy. We might have two during our busy times, but we'll be able to maintain it with one. Questions?
Council, any questions for Adam? Thank you, Adam.
Thank you.
Therefore, I entertain a motion to approve the position description of a front desk member services part-time position. Motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Bennett, seconded by Mark, that we approve the front desk member services position. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same. Motion carries. Thank you. 6G, purchase of a 2022 three-quarter-ton pickup truck review. Jeremy is a standard member here.
Spending money. Thanks, Mayor, Council. Again, with the 22 capital budget, we budgeted for a new three-quarter ton pickup truck. This will replace a 2006 three-quarter ton, or actually 1 ton, which will be handed down to Parks and taken over by them. They'll use it. This particular truck has a lift gate, which will come in handy for them. We budgeted $35,000 for this purchase. Again, we solicited bids from 3 different vendors. They were Pritchard's Commercial out of Clear Lake, Carl Chevrolet, and Stivers Ford. The bids came in from Pritchard's for a Ford F-250 four-wheel drive crew cab. It was $34,295. The bid from Carl Chevrolet was for a Chevy Silverado 2500 HD four-wheel drive crew cab as well, $31,399, and the other bid from Stivers Ford was an F-250 four-wheel drive crew cab, and their bid was $31,665. With those bids, our recommendation is to accept the bid from Carl Chevrolet for the 22 Silverado. As well as with this purchase, following delivery, the city will has some add-ons, strobe lights, toolboxes. Estimated cost of that is $2,212, as well as a lift gate from Stellar Trucks for $3,889.60. Total cost of the entire purchase was $37,560. Estimated time of delivery is also January of 22. Any questions?
And the old one was an 06 Silverado, right?
Yep.
Okay, and we budgeted 35. We got this for 37,500. Okay. Other questions for Jeremy, Council? Thank you, Jeremy. Entertain a motion to approve recommendation of the Public Works Director to authorize the purchase of a 2022 three-quarter ton pickup truck from Carl Chevrolet in Ankeny and Stellar for the Tommy lift on the back. Motion, please.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Gary, seconded by Mark, that we approve the purchase of the three-quarter ton pickup truck. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carries. Thank you. 6H, purchase of computers, networking equipment for the Wellness Center. Bring back Mr. Long.
Mayor, Council, this project was a little bit more difficult than it probably had to be. There was some misunderstandings in some of our early meetings, so I kind of sat through about 20 of these different networking type of meetings with a couple different companies. and ended up finding out at the end of the day, we were actually in the contract with the school. We had everything kind of wired, so it wasn't nearly as big of a project as we thought. I have a little write-up here that kind of explains it in terms that I know I understood a lot better. You know, Scott and I joked about this project at the beginning when we sat down with these guys and said we just want internet in the facility to be able to have our team members be able to work and then have our members be able to utilize Wi-Fi. So it's obviously not always that simple. We ended up going with Merit. Merit is obviously a group that we've used with the city. I've had great luck with them. We decided to go with them. So basically, we're using Merit Computer Service Company out of Mason City for hardware and installation of networking equipment and computers for the Wellness Center. The proposal includes the computers, a router, firewall to add a layer of protection to the network from the internet, wireless access points, and then the switches necessary for connecting all of the computers and access points to the network. These models of access points and switches were recommended by HP engineers for the size and number of possible users for our facility. The wireless network will be set up so there is a private and a public network. The public network will be firewalled from the private network. So at the end of the day, like I said, we went to a couple different companies. Was honestly worried a little bit that Merit might have been too small of a company for this type of job, but once again, we got some of those details figured out. Merit's going to do a great job for us. You can see they ended up being a total of $29,464. Does anybody have any questions?
We use Merit here.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Police Department.
Yep.
Correct.
Randy does a great job for us. Anytime I have an issue, he's there. So.
Mm-hmm. Any other comments, council? Thank you, Adam.
Thank you.
For entertain a motion to approve proposal from the Merit Computer Service for the Wellness Center.
So moved.
So offered.
Moved by Mike, seconded by Bennett, that we approve the purchase of computers and networking equipment for the Wellness Center. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same. Motion carries. Thank you. Chief report. Number one, pancake cooker for the early risers there at the fire department.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor, Council. I wasn't going to have anything tonight, but since I saw Mike in the audience, I thought I'd go over our entire department policies and procedures before we adjourned. Really, just a short report. We had our department meeting / training on Friday here in the chambers. We had the whole department here. That was good to get everyone together, go over some stuff, and talk about strategies for next year and the future. Next month we have our final firearms range of the year, which will be a nighttime range, so it gets darker quicker, so we can get out there before it gets too dark. Harvest Festival, there was no issues on our end, so I know everyone was more people outside on Main Street than there were before because of I think they put people outside as opposed to inside the stores, which I think gave the illusion of more people packed on Main, but I think it was probably about the same or maybe a little bit more numbers than years past, but it was a good event, at least for parking and police matters, at least. So I don't have anything else unless you have any questions for me.
So any questions for Chief? Thank you. Here he comes.
Last time. Thanks, Mayor, Council. I do have an update for the city mechanic operator position. We had interviews last week and interviewed a couple candidates, and we did provide an offer and receive an accepted offer for that position. And we'd like to announce that we hired Lee Nagel for that position. He's a local guy here. He has quite a bit of experience as a diesel mechanic, large truck mechanic, as well as some other intangibles that I think will work out well in our shop. So he has some operator experience as well, so I think it'll be a great fit. Other than that, our Pine Tree Park project has finished. We got the sidewalk finished last week, and I believe they should be seeding that this week once they're done with some of their other park installs. So other than that, any questions?
Item going well, or?
And first day's through, they got quite a bit of the town covered, so we'll see how the next couple days go. But yeah, should be going good.
And so, can Lee fix our trolley?
He is coming from truck centers, so I'm going to say no.
Poor old
I don't
trolley.
think anybody's going to want to fix that thing. So.
It's unique, you know.
Everybody will sign off on that.
Yeah. Hey, thanks. Any questions for?
Yeah, Mayor, just real quick, if I could just offer my thanks. I did get a phone call this past week from Daryl Courier, who lives across the street from Pine Tree Park, and wanted to express his thanks and gratitude to the council and to the Public Works Department for the sidewalk that he can now use to go up there with his wheelchair. Very appreciative of that, and so I just wanted to pass that along to the council and to Jeremy, so thank you.
Thanks. Under Mayor's report, Stace. CEO Chamber of Commerce, welcome.
I did right. Can he fix the trolley?
Oh.
Oh, we'll find someone, maybe. All right, so Pete touched on Harvest Festival a little bit. I think that we were really fortunate with great weather. It seemed as though the day went really smoothly. We've slowly been moving our wine vendors out onto the street, and then last year we did 100% of all of them on the street. So I would say I have never seen so many people starting at 9 a.m. on the street. In fact, people were there before we even officially started at 9, already shopping the vendors. Huge thank you to our community, to our sponsors, to our supporters, to our committee, in which Jen Larson is our chair of the Harvest Festival Committee. Very happy with how things went. We started the day off with our Champagne 5K, had about 200 runners, and then we just increased in numbers there. All of our food trucks sold out. Restaurants told us they had their best day, bigger than the 4th of July. So it really was a really great day for Clear Lake. Lots of people from all over. Talked to a couple from Texas, talked to lots of people from Minnesota, people who had never been to Harvest Festival before. So it was a great event for us. Now we're on to planning for Color the Wind and Christmas by the Lake and all of our 2022 events. One thing I would like to mention is, if you haven't seen already, One Vision is holding their 50th anniversary and annual meeting on October 19th. So I think that would be a great event for all of us to support. Any questions?
Questions for Stacy? Well done. That's really, and thank our city clerk, Jennifer Larson, for chairing the whole.
I mean, I'm
process.
still tired. I mean, it is that's an event that takes a ton of work. At about 1 o'clock, we all go, "Can we close for the day?" We're all really tired still. So,
Yeah.
But it's good for the community, and we're happy to do it. I have a great team.
Very unique how all that was done and decorated and et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, it was terrific down there, Mayor. I don't know, I was down there for several hours, and it was just a fantastic crowd, and so thank you, Jennifer and Stacy. It was really a great event.
It was a good family event,
Yeah.
believe it or not. You know, you'd think it wouldn't be, but there was everything. Yeah. Very, very good. Well done. Chad is not here. Mr. Keefe, Assistant Fire Chief. Well done. What'd we have? 1,500 people, somewhere in there?
Yeah, and I think all of it, Mayor Council, was the fact that the chief was up there by the grill, so that made a difference. And his promoting the fire service by wearing his hat helped a lot too. So, anyway, as far as September,
Get a larger size, will you?
Yeah, 124 calls for us versus 86 for last year. So you can see that we're up on that. We had a couple of vehicle fire and had a tractor fire. Nothing serious that way, but we've had several accidents, and the medical calls have obviously been improved there and gone up considerably. As for the year, we're at 1,019 right now. That's a lot compared to 908 for last year, so I don't know where we're going to be at the end of the year, but a lot of calls. The guys have been running, doing a great job. As far as for the fire department itself, the 9/11 service and stuff was here. And I'll have to thank Chief again for that. He helped us out a lot, leading the procession around the lake. If if you didn't see it, if you're a resident of Clear Lake, didn't see that, it was quite an event, I think. Those number of trucks that went around the lake with their lights on, I think it was quite an event. I know that if we had it again, we'd probably get double that trucks, because every fire department that showed up was willing to come back again. They thought it was the best thing. We had a guy from Kelly, Iowa that happens to have a cabin here and drove a fire truck up here. He said, I wasn't sure exactly what it was going to be like, but he couldn't stop talking about the event itself, the crowd, the people, the speaker, and the event. So it went real well for that. We want to thank you guys for giving us Jeremy helped us out a lot with the street closures, and you guys closing the street. We wouldn't be able to do it without it. It went real well, real smooth. We never had one problem during the entire time. I thought Mark Holt and the Jets were a good kind of a touch for that particular thing, so it went real well. And Joe gave a great speech, so we had a great time on that. As far as the pancake thing, it went really well. We were probably pushing 1,400, maybe more than that. We had a lot of carry-out service we weren't sure we were going to get. But all in all, it was a great day, and we thank everybody who showed up for that. They were pretty good pancakes, we thought, and had a good time. So, unless you got any questions for me, hopefully it'll slow down.
Last year you had a drive-through.
We had a drive-through last year, and probably was our biggest year. I mean, I don't know if that was because people felt sorry for us because we weren't able to have other pancake breakfast or what. But the drive-through went real well, and we had some guys that wanted to do that again, but that's kind of a community thing, that's kind of like anything else. You get together and gives a chance for people to get together, sit down, have a cup of coffee, and enjoy the day. And it was a great day for that. So that's one of the reasons we went back to doing it again, instead of having a drive-through. We just thought, hey, it's kind of nice to be able to sit down and talk to people and see people. So we appreciate that. So Chief did a good job. Thanks.
Hey, networking, that's the key word anymore, networking. Well done, well done. Adam? Wellness Center.
Yeah, just a quick update on the fitness coordinator position. Still have until the 22nd until we close that out. So we got about 3 or 4 candidates right now. I'm still waiting on a couple candidates that actually applied for the assistant position too, that I felt would fit in a little bit more to the fitness portion of it. So looking forward to getting some more of those. It'll close on the 22nd. Finalize the logo with the Tura. You can turn on that very, very back page there. There's a rendering of the final facility of how it'll kind of look. Then we got that Clear Lake Athletics and Wellness logo right in the middle there. I think it looks pretty sharp. Everybody in the Wellness Committee agreed. So that's going well. Construction-wise, finishing up all of the drywall and all the main duct work in the field house. Painting is going to be starting here, I think, this week, actually. And then flooring will be starting to go down in November. So getting down to crunch time, and everything's still running very, very smooth. Have a construction update meeting on Wednesday. But other than that, everything's rolling good. Any questions for me?
Is that we can still be in there by mid to late December?
Our construction meeting, the next construction meeting, I'm going to try to get a hard date. I'm really trying for that January 3rd day. That's going to be a Monday. Hoping for a grand opening on January 2nd, and then being able to start rocking and rolling on that Monday, January 3rd.
Mm-hmm. Get that question a lot, so.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is good. It's good
yeah,
to have
absolutely.
that question.
Absolutely.
That's great, yeah. Thanks, Adam.
Thank you.
Anything, Creighton, and city administrator's out of town temporarily here, so when he comes by, I just want to think, this is the summer's end, kind of, you might say, and yeah, we'll kind of breeze in here to Christmas by the lake and move on, but it's been a very, very good summer, compared to a year ago, and Stacy and several of us sat up here and said, sorry, we aren't going to have basically any events all summer, and we didn't. And then to see the turnout that we've had this year, unbelievable. It really is. So we all need to pat ourselves on the back and just keep moving step by step ahead. We're doing well. Anything else, council? Meeting adjourned. Thank you.